Follow breaking news tonight in the case against Casey Anthony.
Attorneys for Anthony, who faces first-degree murder charges for the death of her daughter Kaylee, they were all in court today arguing 4 separate motions. There were rulings in 3 of those motions with split results.
Now, WESH News has you covered inside and outside the courtroom. Michelle Meredith is gathering a reaction to today's proceedings, but we begin with WESH 2's Bob Keeling, who was inside the courtroom for the hearing. Bob?
Yeah, Jim, we can tell you that very quickly George and Cindy Anthony's motion to have George's suicide note basically kept out of the public eye. Well, that was granted, but then things kind of went downhill for Jose Baez. In his first motion of the day, he was told that it's really not the state's job to provide certain notes from reports that are now out of state in Tennessee that he wants. So for now, the judge did not rule on that one. Baez also asked for motions against prosecutors for allegedly not turning over certain evidence from inside Casey's car. That motion shot down too. And a final motion from Baez asking for notes from a computer examiner who looked at one of Casey's boyfriend's computer. That seemed to confuse the judge, but he went ahead and granted it anyway. We want to take you inside the courtroom to give you a little bit of the argument concerning Baez's failed motion for sanctions.
In a minute, but my point is here, Judge, we were asked to inspect the vehicle. They took certain items out. When they took these out, they never notified the defense.
The situation that we have here is that there is a whole-scale failure of proof to support this motion.
Yeah, and we also watched George and Cindy Anthony and their interaction with their daughter. Casey did manage to get just a quick glimpse and a smile at them as they were sitting behind her in court today. There was also no less than 7 court guards in there just to make sure that everything went smoothly. It was a very contentious hearing, but really the bottom line was George Anthony's motion to keep his suicide from note from going public was granted. Also, Jose Baez wanting to look at a computer examiner's notes. That was also granted, and the rest of the motions failed. Reporting live at the Orange County Courthouse, I'm Bob Keeling, WESH 2 News.
Bob, thanks a lot. We'll hear more from you coming up at 6 o'clock.
But right now, we continue our live team coverage with Michelle Meredith. She was outside the courthouse when that hearing ended. And Michelle, did you get any reaction from anyone?
I did. Well, as you heard, Jose Baez was flat out denied 2 of his motions. I was able to catch up with him and ask him, what do you think? What is your reaction? I just want to, are you disappointed?
Well, you know, we're persistent, and we're going to stay persistent. Persistence beats resistance. That's all I'm going to say.
Are you disappointed, though?
I wouldn't call it. It's part of the job, Michelle. You don't always get what you want the first time around, but we're going to keep asking what we feel we're entitled to.
You know, Jose, Casey looked scared today. Now, George and Cindy Anthony came out of the courthouse, and I followed them with the Michelle camera. And I will say, and I do mean this in such a small way, George Anthony broke his silence in such a small way, and I will have that for you coming up at 6. Live in Orange County, Michelle Meredith, WESH 2 News.
Michelle, thanks a lot. We will have much more on today's hearing at 6 on WESH 2, and you can watch the entire proceeding on WESH.com. There's a link on our homepage.